Welcome into another edition of our Rawlings MVC First Pitch. And this week's stop is in Normal, Illinois with Steve Holm, Illinois State 9-13 at this time, 2-4 in the league, 2-2 in this past week, Coach. Most importantly, the last part of the win came yesterday on Sunday as of this taping. It played like a Friday game. That game really flew, and it was due in large part to Jason Hibbard. He was really great for you.
Yeah, I mean, he I think he went 7 innings, faced the minimum, obviously, got a couple double play balls. It was one of those days where, you need somebody to, kind of put the team on their back. And obviously we'd lost a really close game on Friday that, maybe got away from us right there at the end. And then, at certain points you need somebody to do that. And that's what he did. And, he put us on his back and gave us a chance. And, the arm that they ran at us was 93, 96 and landed breaking balls. And you're looking up like this is going to be a long day for our hitters. And luckily we got him out of there after 6. And, that's when our offense started waking up a little bit. And we certainly out-hit him from there on out.
You talk about your guy, Hibbard was really not only really good, but really efficient. Only faced the minimum and only threw 73 pitches. With what you just said, putting your team on his back, how tempted were you to run him back out there for the 8th? Because I know Elijah Dale's been good for you, and he was good again yesterday. But how was that balancing act there?
We went into the day knowing that, Elijah Dale, who's, certainly probably our best arm, had not thrown, obviously. And, his last outing was, he closed out against Iowa. But when you have your closer available on a Sunday and, you get to that point, you're just like, hey, we are going to use him today at a certain point. And it just felt like the time was right. Jason had, we'd only put him in the rotation the week before. We kind of had him as a long reliever up until conference starting against Belmont. So riding him that long, I know the pitch count thing is something, but for me, a lot of it is the up and down. How many times are you sitting 20 minutes while we hit and then go back out and get up, down, up, down, up, down. And I think that takes its toll as much as the pitches do on certain guys. And, I went to him and I was just like, hey, Dale's in. He didn't fight it. Like, he's a guy that, if he felt he had more in the tank, he would have said something. He didn't fight it. So you kind of knew you made the right decision at that point. And obviously you turned the ball over to Eli Dale.
And it's always kind of comforting when your old guys come through. I'm talking about Greg Nichols. He had 3 hits, including keeping the game going and then ending the game. There's a certain level of comfort when you're, 4th-year juniors and your 4th-year seniors are the guys coming up in big spots for you offensively.
Yeah. And, like after week 2, we had lost, I believe, 4 of those starters. So we came out of the gates pretty good. And then we basically lose our 2-hole hitter, our 4-hole hitter, and our 5-hole hitter in about a 24-hour span. And with that, you got the guys in the wrong spot. And, we were hoping to kind of survive, if that makes sense, and get ourselves back to those guys showing back up. And they showed up in Belmont, and we tried to get them out there for conference. The first game, we got 2 hits, and then we got like 7 hits, and then we put up 11. And you could see them as those guys were back in the game, the ball started going the right direction. It wasn't getting fouled off, and those guys are the ones that, it's going to make it or break it for us if the old guys got to do it. We put Hibbard in the rotation, we put Cam maybe in the rotation. And since then, we've gotten 5 really good starts out of those, older guys. And then same thing on the offensive side is you're getting the old guys up in the right spot, and it's keeping the younger guys back in the right spot. Like Dan Pacella has been unbelievable for us as a freshman, but we don't want him to have to hit 3 and 4. We love him to be able to kind of, lay low in the weeds per se, if you can, as a freshman with 8 homers. I don't think you're laying too low, but, keeping that pressure off of him is Adrian Flores and Noah Rabin and Greg Nichols hitting in the middle and allowing him to kind of sit where he needs to be.
Busy week this week, and not to look forward too far, but you got 5 games, including with Illinois, Western Illinois, and then another toughie against Indiana State that weekend series. Sort of reminds you or gets you ready for Missouri Valley Conference play, because you really need to get some innings, maybe for some guys that haven't given them to you so far this year, right?
Correct. I mean, we came out of the gates with some of those young guys in the rotation, and we obviously changed for a reason, and they just weren't as comfortable. Their stuff is great. We got two of them that they both been up to 95, and one's been up to 97. And but in this game, it's an older man's game, it seems like. And, sometimes 97 out over the plate doesn't play as well as the, 91 a little bit down and away. So getting the two midweeks helps those young guys get back out there and get comfortable, because we are going to rely on them through the course of conference. Obviously they're going to be a little bit more in the bullpen, but getting the double midweek will allow them to kind of re-energize themselves and get out there and kind of get comfortable again.
Coach, go get them this weekend. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll catch up with you down the road. Okay.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay. Coming up in the next installment of the MVC Rawlings First Pitch, we'll talk Belmont baseball with Dave Jarvis. Join us next time.